Colorado being one of the top states that people have been relocating to this last decade, we always kind of get that question when talking with you guys, is Colorado changing? And being a fifth generation native, I can tell you that there are some stuff that has changed. We're going to dive into it right now.
All right, let's go.
If this is your first time watching, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney here, and we are your Colorado real estate family. On this channel, what we'd like to be is your boots on the ground experts covering Denver and all of its surrounding cities. So if you're planning on moving to this state, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, little notification bell. I'm trying to get all the things in order. I'm not sure which or where they go.
Finger dance.
Yeah, you're going to want to make sure that you click one of those buttons if you are looking at relocating to this beautiful state.
Yeah, and as much as we love doing these videos for you, we also love helping with your real estate needs. So if you're looking for a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Colorado, we're going to put our phone number down below right here. Give us a call or text anytime.
All right, so I'm going to tell you right now, we've mentioned this a few times. We're like, when this first influx of people were really relocating to Colorado, and that's kind of when we did 2011, because I think that's really when a lot of people started moving into the state, is it was like the old man on the front porch, get off my front porch analogy. You know?
Get off my lawn!
Where it's like Coloradans didn't like it. They didn't like the fact that the state was changing so much, which it has, even over this last decade. Like I said, fifth generation native here, I've seen so much change, mainly more so I think in development than anything, just how big this state's been growing. But it has changed and it's been crazy.
Yeah, the one thing though that we will say is a lot of our clients don't really know that it's changed that much, and a lot of people are not natives here anymore. So we are hearing this most from our friends or our childhood friends that we've grown up with, or even some of the natives that comment on our channel. So we do hear you. We're gonna cover some of those big changes today. We also feel that change, but a lot of our clients moving in don't. So let's talk about that. So let's talk about the obvious, which is population. So he talked about 2011. 2011, the population here was 5.1 million. Here in 2020, it's 2021. Thank you. It's 2022, but we're going to use 2021 stats because that's the biggest growth.
We need complete stats. We're still in the end of 2022, so we're going to use the full complete stats.
Yeah, so in 2021, thank you, 5.8 million. So yes, there has been some growth. It's been about 1 to 1.9% year over year, with 2015 being the largest
2015
growth.
was the largest growth year for Colorado so far between that decade.
Then what happened? 2020 came and we started to see that growth really slow down. So we were actually under 0.5% in 2020
and
2021. However, starting to see it climb again up in the 4% in 2022. So hopefully we'll see at the end of the year how much that's actually completed over 2022. But the last time we looked, it was about 4.5% or so.
Okay, if you ever watched our videos before, we like to front load it with a ton of stats, right? And towards the end of it, we give you our personal perceptions, or I guess what we're seeing on the ground here in Colorado. So stick around to the end of the video because we're going to break into some stuff that we're also seeing that's changing that's not really in the numbers. So let's go and break into the real estate, because obviously real estate's the thing that you guys are always wanting to know in the state of Colorado. Let's break it back to 2014. That's the most accurate numbers I could get. You know, prior to that, I don't know if they just weren't recording them right or whatever, but 2014 was pretty much the furthest back I could go, getting you the most accurate numbers. You're looking at a median sales price of $307,250 back in 2014. Now here we are. Okay, just a quick note, these are detached houses, so these are your single family homes. We're not talking about your condos and townhouses yet. Now we're in 2022. Your median sales price is $622,490.
So doubled.
Yeah, it's doubled, and that just kind of shows with the growth, the housing prices have gone up, right? So let's go into your attached, your condos, townhouses, and row homes. If you were looking back at 2014, it was $185,000 median sales price, and today in 2022, we're looking at a $405,000 median sales price.
Yeah, I remember we used to be able to look at some of the like condos and things, be able to get them under $200,000. That's like unheard of anymore.
My very first client, like way back when, like, don't mean to sound like an old man or nothing like that, but I remember he bought a condo for $67,000.
Well, even when we were flipping, what did we buy the house at Mead?
So Mead, I bought for $82,000.
$82,000 the house.
East 80th, I bought for $80,000. Let's see, Commerce City, I think we bought for $105,000.
We always talk about how we should have held onto those houses because the rent
equity gains
and the equity gains alone would have just like. Anyway, moving on to some of the fun stuff. I mean, I know real estate's really fun for numbers, but let's talk a little bit about those outdoor activities and some of the reasons that a lot of you guys are moving here to Colorado and how it's changed. So, okay. we're gonna probably like get some darts going on here.
I already know that we are like we usually do when we have a video like this talking about how much Colorado's changed. It's just we get those darts.
We get the darts. Okay, so here's the thing. We used to be able to go up hiking wherever we wanted, when we wanted, weekends included, and you could hike, right? And you were fine.
There's little crowds whatsoever. You could find a parking spot easily.
Yeah. Now, you know, you gotta be a little selective. Like you're trying to find parking. Like half the battle is finding the parking. Then, okay, I'm going on a Boulder rant. So I love you, Boulder. However, Boulder stretched their little like rules and then made it to where you had to either be a resident or have some kind of parking permit to be able to park in some of our favorite trails.
Otherwise, you have to pay.
Otherwise, you have to pay. I
remember the first time we saw, what was it, probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
We were so upset.
We went to one of our favorite trails in Boulder and we're like, what, we gotta pay because we're not a resident of Boulder? This is BS.
Yeah, we've been hiking these trails before all those residents. You know, we were just like really mad about it. But anyways, finding parking, now having to pay for parking to go hiking, like what?
Yeah.
And so, anyways, it's really changed. Going out on the trails is very different. It's packed.
It's not as much of a relaxing time anymore. Now it's super packed. If you got a dog,
oh god, if
you gotta watch all the other dogs.
You have to have them on a leash. Which okay, we know you're supposed to have them on a leash, but before,
no, I don't think that was a thing back then though.
It wasn't?
I don't ever remember when I was growing up as a kid.
Everywhere.
You let your dogs just roam free.
It was so fun. Like everyone got to have fun. The dogs got to have fun. The kids used to fall down the mountain. You know, like it was just everybody was fine.
There is actually a story of me falling down the mountain as a kid and rolling into a cactus.
I'm just saying, you used to be able to explore a little bit more, and now you're having to be a little bit more conscious of everybody else. And
so on top of the hiking thing too, so we have this place here called Hanging Lake. With the influx of people, a lot more people were going up there, and there was graffiti happening. You're not supposed to touch the lake whatsoever.
Yeah.
People were being rebels and deciding to jump in it and stuff, and now you have to make a reservation just to go up to Hanging Lake.
Well, and then the fire happened, and now Hanging Lake closed and all that. But anyways, so hiking is a little bit different. Just be prepared to... Okay, a lot of the times when we're talking to you guys about the best things to do in Colorado, we will often tell you guys like, oh, we haven't done that forever. And the reason is because we're still trying to find those local spots that a lot of people don't go to. So going in the middle of the week, skiing and all of that, or going hiking at really odd times.
We
so
do
that
know
we
the
beat
best
the
camping
crowds.
spots. I will not lie about that though.
Yeah, going camping.
We know the camping spots that people don't know about. So.
Yes, going camping
you
where
may
not
need
everyone
four-wheel
can
drive
come.
to get there, but we get there.
Yeah, you can't bring the camper, that's for sure. Now with kids, we're like, okay, we're gonna rough it this weekend because that's the only place that'll allow us to go without a bunch of people. Booking campsites. Let's talk about that. Booking campsites here is insane right now. Like even if you just want to go to the KOA, so you have like all the things on site and you just want to take a quick little weekend, like you have to book that like 6 months in advance. So that never happened. We'd be able to go up on a whim and go camping and like with hookups and be fine. I mean, granted, we're just now getting to the like bougie camping.
Yeah, we never used to do that.
Kids.
I used to be one of those guys. I'm like, I'm never going to buy a camper and do this bougie stuff. I'm a tent for life. And
oh my God, he was like, never. I will never do that. And
then we got a camper. I was like, oh, this is nice.
He's like, outdoor kitchen sold. But anyways, yes. Now we like if we want to go rough it, we have to go places that not everybody can go, so that it's not overly packed. And then we have to tent it because not everyone can go there. So that makes it like easy to where we can actually enjoy it and not be completely packed. What else? Biking.
So biking, this is actually something that I think that's been good for Colorado because a lot of cities are adopting more bike lanes. They're becoming so much more biker friendly so that they can share the road with cars and stuff. Yeah, and so this is actually kind of a positive thing with the growth that's happening and why Colorado is changing.
Yeah, we're also starting to see a lot of these outdoor activity enthusiasts moving everywhere across Colorado. So it used to be like if you're the closer to the mountains you are, the more active the city. Now it's not necessarily like that. They have built-in trails even on the east side of I-25. We're building trail systems where we're like different biking things, tying them into one another, and really trying to make it to where even if you're further away from the mountains, you still have a ton of biking trails or running trails and things like that.
Another thing that we're also really noticing with Colorado changing, like this isn't all bad stuff, guys. We're also seeing some great things that are coming in. With more people moving into Colorado, more of these cities are doing more festivities for everyone to kind of hang out, do great things. We're currently standing in Orchard, which is up in Westminster, and it's a great area. They do a Christmas thing here. They do yoga, Chelsea does it. Or
I don't do goat yoga.
No, you do the margarita
I do
and
margarita yoga. Let's be real.
So you're seeing a lot of these cities who are incorporating a lot more stuff. Thornton is like the beast when it comes to all the festivities they do. They got Thornton Fest, like the Christmas thing and all that stuff, whatever. But I feel like they didn't really do that when we were kids. You know,
it was like Denver and.
Well, I mean, they still had like small harvest festivals, right? And that was the biggest thing, is they always had harvest festivals in the fall time. But now it's just like every single part, like sometimes once a month.
Yeah.
They have all these great festivities, and I think it's with the amount of growth that Colorado's been seeing.
Yeah, so this kind of leads into the next one, and this is like the growing downtown. So because Denver was growing so much, and then it was kind of spreading to these outside cities and kind of this like metro area, the Denver metro area. We cover a lot because of pricing and stuff, or home prices and stuff. But every little city is starting to incorporate these downtowns and being able to really just bring the city together and keep money in the city and keep their residents in the city, and really just seeing that it's just changed everything, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I think before, like what it was is you had downtown Denver, right? And then if you want to go to like another, like a small downtown, Boulder always had that, and there's Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, but now you got these other cities like Westminster downtown's blowing up. Superior downtown's blowing up. Broomfield's got Arista. Thornton's kind of trying to do a downtown thing. They have like more, it's a little bit more scattered, but they're still trying to do like a little downtown thing. So
Lafayette,
all these cities,
Louisville.
Yeah.
I mean, just like these.
They're definitely incorporating them, but it's just like they're like, you know what? Okay, Denver's popular, but at the same time, we have a lot of people who are moving outside of Denver.
Right.
How do we keep that money here and all that stuff? So they're building all these downtowns, which has actually been pretty cool.
It's been amazing, guys. We actually go around all these little downtowns and experience some of the local restaurants and some of these ma pa things, so that we can, support local. And again, Colorado's big about that. I mean, especially with California being one of the major states that is feeding into Denver. The foodie and the whole like support local is huge here in Colorado, and we're seeing that a lot in these small little like town centers and all of the little downtowns in each city. So
all right, cool. So this one is one of those things. What do they say they always talk about? They said never talk about religion and politics.
Yeah, we're gonna cover them both. No, I'm just kidding. We won't talk about religion today.
We're going to cover politics, and this is one of those ones that it's just like Denver's become so much more blue. I mean, I think the last time that I voted for a red president was Bush. I don't know if it was first or second term, but sorry guys, if you're coming here planning on moving into red state, you're not going to get it. It's a lot more progressive here. It's pretty deep blue in regards to its politics and such, and so it's something that has changed, because back in the past when I was growing up, Colorado was always kind of known more as a red state, and so
and then it went purple, and then it went
now it's pretty deep blue. So just kind of something to throw out there. There are some counties who are still a little bit more on the conservative side that do cater to that a little bit more than a lot of these other counties.
And then same thing with kind of out east and like where all of our farmers are with a little bit more land. You'll also see some more variation in that. Overall, I think Colorado's still pretty, even though it's pretty progressive, it's still pretty accepting of all of it. So that's kind of nice. But again, we just got to be honest about it.
We got to be honest.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about one that could be good or bad, okay? Good for the people moving in and not super comfortable with snow. Bad for all of us who were like, had to dig ourselves out of our house to go to school, which is...
Yeah, so the school closures. And like, I seriously, I feel like that old man, because like, I remember I was like, I used to walk uphill in the snow both ways and like all this stuff. And it was legit. Like, the kids were sitting there waiting by the TV for them to close the schools. Please close the schools. And there's always this thing that went around when I was in school where it's like the principal drove a monster truck, and so they never closed schools. And so it took a lot. I could probably count the number of times that we had school closures on one hand the entire time from when I went to kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. But now it seems like they get them like 4 times a year sometimes.
Honestly, like
they close it before the snow even comes.
Yeah, they'll hear that there's going to be this big snowstorm, and then all of a sudden things start closing down, and you're like, wait a minute, and then we get like 4 inches. It's like completely melted off by noon, and we're like, great, like all these people just took off work. Now, I will say, after 2020 with, the whole COVID thing, we started seeing a lot more people work from home, and so it doesn't affect families as much as it used to, but this still affects a lot of families who have to go into work every single day when they're closing school down before the snow's even hit. And then we have like all of our snow plowers like out, like just waiting for the snow to come. Like they blow it up, and then we get like 5 inches, and you're like, really? Like, I swear I had to dig out. We made this hole, like we opened the door just enough to get out, and then we made this hole from the front door all the way to the front, which was so cool, by the way, just to go to school, guys. We had to go to school that way because my mom actually couldn't get out of the garage, and then we walked it, which is insane. Like, I actually kind of can't think of pushing Kingston and Adelaide to walk to school in that. Like, it is kind of crazy.
We're becoming soft. We're all becoming soft.
We are becoming a little soft. I think we are. Okay, so obviously that's one that gets to us, but a lot of people moving into the state love the fact that they are a little bit more forgiving when it comes to big snowstorms so that families aren't having to try to manipulate around that. All right, guys, that's about it. We talked about all the different ways that Colorado's changing, some good, some bad, but if there's any other changes that you guys want to mention, especially you natives out there who've been saying Colorado's changing so much, please comment down below. We do these videos for you.
Yeah, of course, guys, we're going to throw a phone number below one more time right there. If you are planning on moving to the state of Colorado, give us a call, give us a text, doesn't matter time or day. And until next time, we love you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, with Colorado being one of the top states people are moving.
Oh, yeah. It was almost like the old man with the front porch. Get off my front porch analogy, right? I just hit the camera.
I know.